Donald Trump ran away to Scotland with hopes that his Jeffrey Epstein scandal wouldn't come with him, but it has only gotten worse because not only has he been protested across the country, including at his own golf club, but Donald Trump's very clear attempts to distract and cover up, literally banning some reporters from the Wall Street Journal from coming on the trip, has only brought more intrigue to the most devastating scandal to rock Donald Trump's presidency yet. And we saw how that was affecting Trump in a meeting today with the president of the EU, in which Trump completely imploded over this scandal. The panic is so clear, and what else was clear is how disturbed the EU president was. We are going to get into it all, but before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button because it goes a long way in supporting our work. Now, before we get into this meeting and the disaster it was for Trump and his scandal, I want to start with what Congressman Jason Crow had to say today on Fox, calling out the real reason that Trump fled the country and Congress was shut down.
At the time. But let's be really clear again about what's happening here. This is being reinvigorated and concocted because Donald Trump doesn't want to talk about the Epstein files. He doesn't want those files released. In fact, I'm sitting here right now instead of in Washington because House Republicans released the Congress. We went on recess early to avoid a vote on releasing the Epstein files. A vote, by the way, that would pass in a bipartisan way. It would pass if the vote were held today.
And I'll ask the chairman about that.
They sent us home because
they got some.
So that's what this is all about.
They did get some subpoenas done, and
I'm
really interested to see now that the House Oversight has voted those out, who shows up and where we do get more information. Because I think you're right. There's bipartisan call for more Epstein information.
One last key point.
Okay, quick.
One last key point. Pam Bondi briefed Donald Trump in May on the Epstein files. When did all of this start coming up? In May and June. Well, you know, you want to talk about a coincidence? Well, I don't believe in a coincidence here.
I think everyone is, well, not everyone, but I think most people do want more answers on Epstein. We're certainly pushing for those too. And the president says he wants the grand jury transcripts out.
I am so glad that this message is being brought to Fox. I am so glad their audience, which has been completely shielded from this scandal as much as possible, it's just nonstop Obama lies coverage, is hearing the truth from Congressman Crow. That Mike Johnson shut down Congress and Donald Trump ran away to go play golf, by the way, on your dime, paying money at his course, just another way for Donald Trump to siphon off our cash through the presidency because he wants this Epstein scandal to go away. He is desperate for us to talk about anything else, but that desperation only makes me want to cover this more. Because what is Donald Trump covering up if he is freaking out this much, if he is panicked this much, if he is in this bad of a mood, if he is so angry, which is quite literally what he was asked about by a reporter before we check out how disturbed the EU president was with Trump.
Can I ask why you're in a bad mood? Was it a bad morning of golf, or why you're not in a good mood?
No, the golf was beautiful. Golf can never be bad, even if you play badly. It's still good. If you had a bad day on the golf course, it's okay. It's better than other days. But no, I think I look forward to this meeting. You know, we've had a hard time with trade with Europe, very hard time, and I'd like to see it resolved. But if it isn't, we'll, have tariffs. They'll do what they have to do. But we have a good chance of getting it resolved. We'll probably know in about an hour. Shouldn't take that long.
What about the
it's complicated, but not really complicated when you get right down to it, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it really is nice to play golf on our dime and steal money from taxpayers to put directly into your golf club. Yeah, I'm sure that's great. Donald Trump's going to cost you, by the way, about $1 billion over his presidency. About $1 billion playing golf. Billion with a B. And do you know where that money is spent? At his golf clubs. He is always finding a way to grift. So I'm sure he is in a happy, cheerful mood. Well, except for the fact that he's being protested everywhere he goes. And he's taking that anger out on his favorite enemy. Yes, Don Quixote is back at it again. Trump was screaming about windmills, and just look at the EU president staring daggers at him as he melts down.
Political hacks. These are people that they almost want to harm the country. But you look at these beautiful landscapes all over the world. Many countries have gotten smart. They will not allow it. They will not. It's the worst form of energy, the most expensive form of energy. But windmills should not be allowed.
Thank you, Mr. Trump.
Cambodia and Thailand. You spoke to leaders of both countries.
I did.
Are they doing enough to stop the fighting?
I hope so. You're talking about Cambodia and Thailand?
Yeah.
So I had an interesting time. We're dealing with Thailand, and we do a lot of trade with Thailand and with Cambodia. And yet, I'm reading that they're killing each other. You know, they're fighting. They're in a war. And I say, this should be an easy one for me because I've settled with India and Pakistan, and Serbia and Kosovo was going at it, you know, but they have for a long time, in all fairness. So you know about that. And
when we start talking about windmills, that's kind of really when you know we've reached the point of maximum Trump panic, when we're bringing windmills back in the conversations, when we're talking about the whales and the birds and the scenery. And to say that, like, Europe isn't going to put a windmill in America, like, what? Do you think that they're, like, storming the beaches and they're just, like, sticking them down and then, like, running back? They're not planting a flag. This isn't windmill war. He's such an idiot. I'm sorry that that's what we have to boil it down to sometimes, but he truly is just the stupidest person to have ever held this office, to ever held any office. And it just goes to show the state of panic that he is in, the way that he is lashing out. Just listen to the projection from Trump right here.
Pouring into our country. And I think it's the hottest. And by the way, 1 year ago, our country was dead. We had a dead country because of an incompetent president and incompetent Democrats. All they know how to do is talk and think about conspiracy theories and nonsense. If they'd waste their time talking about America being great again, it would be so much nicer, so much easier, be very successful.
Only Democrats want to talk about conspiracy theories? Might we remember that Donald Trump's whole presidential campaign was built on an idea, a lie, by the way, that somehow Joe Biden was weaponizing the government, the DOJ, the FBI, going after Trump. He was the victim. Poor little Donnie broke the law, and now there's consequences, even though there weren't. And it's us that are caring about the conspiracies. Right now, you're actively trying to cover your ass by talking about Barack Obama all the time. It's the only thing you talk about is Barack Obama. And lies from, 2016, 2017, that even your own administration was able to point out were wrong. He has no leg to stand on, and of course he doesn't. It's crazy that we're even talking about this right now, when there's so much else we need to be talking about, including the active campaign of starving millions in Gaza that our tax dollars are aiding and abetting. Donald Trump is carrying out with Netanyahu. When he was asked about it, the answer is what you would expect.
Should Israel be doing more to allow food into Gaza?
Say it.
Should Israel be doing more to allow food into Gaza?
What did you say?
Should Israel be doing more to allow food into Gaza?
Well, you know, we gave $60 million 2 weeks ago, and nobody even acknowledged it, for food. And it's terrible. You know, you really at least want to have somebody say thank you. No other country gave anything. We gave $60 million 2 weeks ago for food, for Gaza. And nobody acknowledged it. Nobody talks about it. And it makes you feel a little bad when you do that and, you know, you have other countries not giving anything. None of the European countries, by the way, gave. I mean, nobody gave but us. And nobody said, gee, thank you very much. And it would be nice to have at least a thank you. And I took a lot of heat. You know, when I do that, a lot of people aren't happy about that because they say, well, why are we doing it and nobody else? But I think we had a humanitarian reason for doing it. What's going to happen? I don't know. I can tell you that Hamas, as I said would happen, at the end, you know, we've gotten back a lot of hostages, a tremendous number of hostages, most of them. Now we have dead hostages, and the mothers want them back, and we have 20.
The death count in Gaza continues to rise, and Donald Trump's complete lack of any remote care, it shouldn't surprise me. I'm not surprised. But the media's failure to cover this for so long is astounding. And the fact that they would think that Donald Trump would give any response that wasn't a lie is also shocking. And I'm surprised he's not trying to lean on this more, talk about what a great job he's done, make up more lies. this is what he does. But this is someone so morally bankrupt. I saw a tweet from Midas Touch the other day saying that Donald Trump was quicker to send his deputy attorney general to go see Ghislaine Maxwell than he was to send FEMA to Texas. Do we really think Donald Trump cares about anyone in need? That this Republican Party cares about anyone in need? Cares about women and children losing their lives, starved to death, days on end without food? And we're paying for this to happen. That's how our money is being spent. Because Donald Trump and Jared Kushner think it would be a real great real estate deal for them. That's it. That's actually what they've gone on record and said, that they want to take this land to build another Trump hotel, another shitty Trump hotel, and they're starving people. It's disgusting. It's weak. That's what this administration is. They're weak. And even some Republicans are willing to point that out. Hell, Thomas Massey was right here.
So you're just going to need a couple more Republicans to sign that if Democrats go along. Are you going to get that?
If every Democrat signs this, I've already got 12 Republican co-sponsors, and I only need 6 to sign it.
Well, will they sign? I mean, will they? Because that's taking control of the House schedule away from the Speaker.
I think the pressure is going to build over August recess. I don't think it's going to dissipate like the Speaker hopes that it will. And if merely just half the people who've co-sponsored this legislation follow through and sign it, then it's going to come to the floor for a vote.
Donald Trump can't escape his Jeffrey Epstein scandal. It's not going to happen. Republicans will continue to talk about this. Donald Trump trying to run away from it only makes it a bigger issue. And because Congress isn't in session, funny enough, they have no tools, they have no power. And I know that they had to, Mike Johnson escape, so there was no vote. But with nothing else happening, this is the only thing to talk about. I wouldn't be surprised if Trump calls up Hegseth and says, hey, man, can you throw back a couple of GNTs and get on Fox and have fun with it so we, cover something else for a week? But no, this is it. We get a month. You're not doing anything. You're hiding away. We'll, of course, cover you getting made fun of playing golf. But other than that, I'm hitting this story. We are looking for more. We are talking about it constantly. Ads are going up in Republican districts. Good. I hope some of these videos are being watched by Republicans. I've seen comments, some of y'all, maybe not longtime viewers, saying that you voted for Donald Trump. I've seen some of them, and that you've completely abandoned him. Welcome into the fray. Welcome to the big tent. It's a big tent. We're having everybody. Billionaires have screwed you over for too long. Donald Trump is the biggest one doing it. How about we fight back and fix that system? We're certainly going to be talking about it on this show, and if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video, and if you stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. Until next time, I'll see you soon.